man. So let me tell you about his profile. Galilei and Galileo was born in Pisa, Duchy of Florence, Italy in 1564 to a poor but noble family. Galileo was an Italian astronomer, scientist, and philosopher who played a leading role in the scientific revolution. Galileo studied the profitable career of medicine at the University of Pisa. Galileo became fascinated by a wide range of subjects. He also became critical of many of Aristotle's teachings.
Galileo was appointed to be a mathematics professor at the University of Pisa, but his frequent criticism of Aristotle left him isolated among his contemporaries. After 3 years of persecution, he resigned and went to the University of Padua, where he taught math. His entertaining lecture attracted a large following, and he was able to spend the next 18 years pursuing his interest of astronomy and mechanics.
During this time, Galileo made important discoveries about gravity, inertia, and also developed the forerunner of the thermometer. He also worked tirelessly on the science of mnemonics, telling time by shadows and law of motion. Galileo Copernicus. Galileo came to the same conclusions of Copernicus, that the sun was the center of the universe and not the earth. Galileo was also a great admirer of Johannes Kepler for his work on planetary motion.
So about telescopic discovery. By inventing the world's first powerful telescope, Galileo was able to make many groundbreaking explorations of the universe. Galileo's telescope increased magnification from around just 2 times to 30 times magnification. By using his new telescope, and he found that Saturn has a beautiful ring of clouds, and the moon wasn't flat but has mountains and craters. And using the new telescope, he discovered 4 moons of Jupiter. The first one is Io, the second one was Callisto, the third is Ganymede, and the last is Europa. And from that, he also know that 4 moons of Jupiter revolve around Jupiter rather than the Sun.
To support the theory of heliocentrism, Galileo had the mathematical proof of Copernicus, but also new proof from the science of astronomy. However, Galileo knew that publishing these studies would bring the disapproval of the church authorities. Yet, he also felt a willingness to reach the church's displeasure. The church had already started to forbid Galileo's teaching, especially anything that supported Copernicus.
Galileo appeared to recall the words of the Pope, making the Pope less sympathetic to Galileo. As a sequel, Galileo was eccentric and impassionate. For several months, he was convicted of heresy and was forced to rescind his belief. He spent the remaining year of his life under house arrest, the ART, and despite being censored by the church, Galileo continued to make discovery until death overtook him in 1642. His influential work led many to call him the father of modern physics. Albert Einstein would later pay tribute to the contribution of Galileo.
The introduction of the telescope to astronomy in 1609, combined with the ability to project an image to avoid direct observation with the eye, meant that observers could view the sun consistently and safely in some detail for the first time. Galileo had heard about telescope in 1609 and soon began building and modifying one from 1610, which allowed him to observe the sunspots, usually invisible to the naked eye. In late 1610, both Galileo and the English mathematician Thomas Harriot observed sunspots, although their observations were unknown to one another. However, it was the observations of Christoph Scheiner in March 1611 that prompted Galileo to write his letters on the sunspots. Scheiner was a Jesuit mathematician at the German University of Ingolstadt who published his 3 letters on solar spots written to Mark Wessler in January 1612. Scheiner argued that sunspots were satellites of the sun and preserved Aristotle's principle of unchanging universe in his theory. Mark Wessler, a banker and magistrate in the town of Augsburg in Germany, and patron of the new sciences, sought Galileo's opinion. Galileo resumed his observations of sunspots in April 1612. In his letter to Wessler, published in 1613, he identified sunspots correctly as markings on the sun, confirming that the sun rotated monthly as the position of the spots moved. Modern astronomers with new technologies have confirmed that the cyclical appearance of sunspots over long and short periods is connected with increased levels of magnetic activity.
Galileo's Leaning Tower of Pisa experiment. According to a biography by Galileo's pupil, Vincenzo Viviani, in 1589, the Italian scientist Galileo had dropped 2 balls of different masses from the Leaning Tower of Pisa to demonstrate that the time of the sun was independent of the mass. Via this method, he supposedly discovered that objects fell at the same acceleration, proving his prediction true, while at the same time proving Aristotle's theory of gravity, which states that objects fall at speed relative to their mass falls. At the time when Viviani asserts that the experiment took place, Galileo had not yet formulated the final version of his law of free fall. He had, however, formulated an earlier version which predicted that bodies of the same material falling through the same medium would fall at the same speed. This was contrary to what Aristotle had taught, that heavy objects fall faster than lighter ones, in direct proportion to weight. While this story has been retold in popular accounts, there is no account by Galileo himself of such an experiment, and it is accepted by most historians that it was a thought experiment which did not actually take place.
So, did you understand all?
Number 29, Lina.
Number 25, Kate.
34. Milk.
Number 27, jar.
Number 31, toy. I'm going so
Number 14, angel.
None and so low.